And we are back with another SDL podcast episode. First of all, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hope you had a wonderful Sunday. Once again, here with my excellent co-host, Matt. Matt, how you doing today?
Fantastic. Got a fresh cut.
Londa Dawn, it's you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Baby girl, I took a couple days off after the game last week. See, people forget. Season 1, you didn't vote me an all-star. That bothered me. That's when I became the Don. And guess what happened? Season 1B, the second half, I led the league in pie. You can go check. I'll wait. Then guess what? Then you took Armando from me. And you said the Don wouldn't be the same. They're not going to win it again. But didn't we? Point guard, Lon the Don, Season 3, Fink. We're happy you're here. You just gave us a reason to shut this whole thing down. You just gave us a reason for the three-peat. Lon the Don, Blacktop Legends, interrupting your regularly scheduled program. You all could talk about us. You hate us because you ain't us. Blacktop Legends, let's go.
A fresh cut. Ready for week 8, Joey. Take us through, just the chaos that happened. Just a little bit high level. I know we're going to get into detail later with the trades, but yeah, some teams got mixed up, huh?
Some teams got mixed up. Drama season 3 here. A lot of movement behind the scenes here. A few potential games of the week coming up here in week 8. We're about halfway through the season here. We do 15 regular season weeks. This week, we do not have a bye. It's an interconference week. Everyone's going to play interconference, guys. And the weird thing right now for our conferences, they're both 15 and 15. Both conferences are even right now. You'd love to see it. So we're going to see this week who takes the lead in the battle of the conferences.
How about it? And we put it in banter. We said, hey, everybody, tell us what the game of the week is. And it was voted none other than the Blue Collar Ballers versus the now new look Purple Patio Pounders. So, Joey, I've got lines here for us. And we'll talk about the new look here in a second. But pre-trade, this would have been a Blue Collar Baller minus a half a point. That would be a favorite. Basically a pick 'em with a slight edge to the Blue Collar Ballers. The line now is Purple Patio Pounders minus 2.5. So that's a what are we talking about? 3-point swing, right? Did I do that math right? 1, 2, 3, 3-point swing. And the trade, walk us through what happened for Purple. We got two changes here of the 5. So why don't you walk us through that quickly?
Yep. So coming in, so for Purple, I'll talk about a couple guys leaving. First of all, Armando, he's heading out. I'm not going to tell you where yet, but he is out for Purple, as well as D-Lo. They are taking the train and they are heading out of town. Coming in on the inboard train, we got Sissio making his return to Purple. And another big guy, Ferminator, coming into Purple. So Purple coming into the season, looking at the roster, Armando, he was their big as well as D-Lo, but they had a little bit of size discrepancy there, a little bit smaller. Bringing in Sissio and Furman immediately, puts them back up in the height category. They got 2 bigs down low. Looking at their roster, they have a solid 5 now. There's not a weak spot on Purple, 1 through 5. Going up against Blue this week, who, like we said last week with the doctor scale, Blue was coming into the game, 8.5, 9.5, vibes are high. They won again. I was in the chant circle after the game. They were chanting, they were strutting their stuff. Perry and Rosenberg, who hopefully we'll see pretty soon here. Monster game between the two of them. I mean, absolute chaos here this week coming up against a massive game. What do you think about the moves, Matt?
Yeah, I think, look, it's so funny. Purple, D-Lo to Furman, right, on paper. I think everyone's going to say, well, I think Furman brings a little bit more offensively to Purple. And so you think they got a little bit better. And then they go from Armando to Sissio. So Armando, clearly more athletic. Sissio's got his hands on his knees 4 minutes into every single game. So clearly a little bit more athleticism there from Armando, a little bit better perimeter defense. But is Sissio been himself ever since leaving Purple? I mean, like, that guy just vibes in Purple. You get the best version of Sissio, within Purple. So I think I think you're gonna get the best version of Sissio. It's a super interesting trade. Loved it, fully supported it. But let's talk about the Blue Collar Ballers a little bit, because in here with us we have none other than Not So Jewish Jordan, JC Rosenberg, and I think think if we can figure out the tech side of this, Jason Perry, the other half of the Jasons, with the Blue Collar Ballers, will be joining us as well. So here, if he can figure out how to take himself off mute despite working in IT, we have none other than Jason Rosenberg. Jason, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing tonight?
Thank you, guys. Doing great tonight. I spent a little time with the family for Mother's Day, but overall doing great. Love the podcast. Glad you guys invited me on tonight. Appreciate it.
Cool. So let's just dive right in. Look, you guys lost to the defending champs opening night. Then you went on a 3-game win streak, just ripping through teams. Now, granted, they were the lower half of the league. It was green, it was red, I believe, and who was the other team you guys beat that was at the bottom there? Oh, white. So you ripped through some things. You ran into us. You lost to us. We caught us on the upswing, and then you blew the doors off of that gray team. You know, you're beating good teams, you're beating some bad teams, you're losing to good teams, you're losing to the black team, who I think is still a pretty good team. What seems to drive a blue collar baller win or loss in any given, day to day, week to week scenario?
Usually I think our wins is how we play defense, closing out on 3-pointers, spacing on offense, getting us to move the ball around, being patient, just waiting those few extra seconds. Maybe a screen comes open, someone able to peel out, pop out for a 3. I think those little things help us. Sometimes if we're down a little bit, maybe we're trying to rush things, we're trying to catch up, we're trying to play, score for score, and sometimes we lose track of that in the games. It seems like we're losing or we went down. But I think it's those two key things is going to be spacing and our defense. Just closing on the 3-pointers. There's not many teams that probably the Finkelberries they score 90% of their shots are probably within 3 feet of the basket from Fink. But most of the rest of the teams live and die by the 3, which we don't mind. It's a little bit harder percentage shot. We'll take those, but we just got to make sure that we're not leaving guys wide open to hit them, because there's a lot of guys in this league that can hit that open 3 pretty consistently. So we want to make sure we just get a hand in their face, put that body on them, making sure that they know that we're there and that this isn't going to be an easy game.
Wow, what an incredibly long-winded answer to a relatively short question. So I appreciate that.
No problem.
So also entering the room, we have the other side of the Jasons, none other than Jason Perry. Jason, welcome to the podcast. Say hi to Joey. You've got
What
other
up,
Jason
Joey?
and myself.
What up, man?
How you
What's
doing?
up, man? Paging Dr. Perry.
Let's go.
Hey, so real quick, guys. So you guys both are, I think are incredibly offensive talents. You've been, really high scorers, basically your entire SDL careers. And you've kind of had to learn to play with each other. It was so funny. Sorry if you hear my dog barking. It was really funny to watch in the preseason. You guys just taking turns basically ISOing. And I was saying to you guys during the preseason tournament, that little round robin thing, I'm like, will you guys learn to play off each other? Like one time, like go set a pick, maybe do a give and go between the two of you. Instead, it was like, all right, this Jason's going to ISO. Okay, that Jason's going to ISO. And it didn't really mesh. And what you both said to me individually was, don't worry, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out, which is funny because you guys have played together Sunday mornings for like how many years now? Yet in the SDL, it took you guys some time to figure it out. So what did you guys work on? What's changed? And what do you think has been the biggest kind of, success for you guys both on court to be able to play together like that?
Yeah. So we have been playing for a long time together on Sundays, but I will say that usually on those Sundays, they would put us on the opposite team. So we played a lot against each other on Sundays. But we know each other's game pretty well. And I think that, in the beginning, it was more of the whole team trying to gel rather than just Jason and I trying to gel with each other. But we've all figured it out. We're, 6 games into the season now, and everybody's starting to learn everybody's tendencies and, how the game flows. And so, I think it was, more of a team trying to figure it out rather than just me and Jason.
So yeah, you guys are definitely starting to gel a lot. And you could tell with the most previous game this week, it was a tight game all the way up until the 4th quarter. And then you guys just went crazy, the both of you, back to back to back to threes. I think you guys combined for about 75 points this week between the two of you guys. There was a string of plays there. I think it was Perry 3, Rosenberg 3, Perry 3, Rosenberg 3. and the game was out of reach. Tell me what it feels like when you know it's either going in from you or your 1-2 punch guy right next to you. What does it feel like when the ball's on fire?
I mean, it's just we have the confidence in each other to score pretty much when we want to. I think Perry, I have the utmost confidence in him. If he's going to take a last shot or needs to get going or has that mismatch, I'm fine with giving Perry the ball. Let him do his thing. Let's work together. Get a mismatch off a screen, something to get one of us. And I'm sure he's vice versa. If we have a mismatch where we can set up a screen or a back screen where we can help me get a shot off, we're doing that. And I think we're starting to learn how to do that a little bit better every game.
Right.
Super cool. So, all right, guys, let's talk about your upcoming opponent this week, the Purple Patio Pounders. So, you guys obviously know the trade. I have some lines for you hot off the presses. This is what it was. So, pre-trade, and this is from Hard Right Bet, pre-trade, the Blue Collar Ballers would have been a 0.5 point favorite. It's basically a pick 'em. You guys with a slight favorite. Now, post-trade, you guys are underdogs. It is Purple Patio Pounders by 2.5. So Furman plus Sissio with Armando out, D'Lo out is worth about 3 points to the Purple Patio Pounders. I could see the disgust on Perry's face already, so we're going to go to him first. What is your initial reaction to, one, the line, the movement, and just new Purple in general?
Look, I think in this league, any team can, get on fire and beat any other team. But I think we like being the underdogs. Let us be the underdogs. We'll come in there. We'll play hard. Every team has to cover, me, Rosenberg. You got to, deal with BK down low. As far as Purple, I think that with Armando gone, they lost some explosiveness. With Sissio and Furman, maybe they gained a little bit of, sort of a all-around team game. Maybe better on the offensive side, maybe a little different on the defensive side. I don't know. It's hard to say. Ask me after the first quarter, I guess.
I like being the underdog. I hate when they say, "Oh, we're going to win." Then my mindset doesn't go into that attack mode sometimes. I mean, Bobby will lie to me and tell me that we're always underdog. That we're always, they don't think we can win. They say you suck. He knows how to get me fired up to do it. But I'd rather you put me -10. I don't care. That just fuels the fire even more. So it gets me more amped to play and to prove everyone else wrong.
Might have lost Nahoda.
Yeah, I think we lost his. He's on mute or something.
Oh, sorry. There we go.
There you
So, hold on. We got somebody else in here.
Let me get off mute here. I think I heard something about
Oh.
explosiveness. What's going on, guys?
Mr.
Was that the
Sissio.
doctor or the veteran?
Oh no, we got Jared and Sissio, both from the Purple
here we
Patio
go.
Pounders. So, guys, they were just in here talking about new Purple. So let me just set the stage for you guys. Hot off the presses, Sissio and Jared. Pre-trade, Blue Collar Ballers were a 0.5 point favorite over the Purple Patio Pounders. Now, post-trade, that swung 3 whole points. Purple Patio Pounders favored by 2.5. What do you guys think of that?
That may be a little bit of my friendship with Reichenberger because it's a little high in Purple's favor, but I do think maybe we are the favorite. Thanks for having us, by the way, Winston and Nahoda. I know Rosenberg and Perry are great basketball players, but didn't want to put the audience to sleep too much. So I'm glad you got Jared and I here. Looking forward to the game Tuesday, though. Blue, obviously a great team. Revamped Purple team. Mortgage Mike, too. Huge acquisition. I think D'Lo down low, great player, but point-wise, nothing. I think Mike off the bench or in that fourth spot gives Purple a lot of hustle, experience, and power.
So some are saying people are going to be fighting for minutes on Purple. Mortgage Mike, I don't know if you saw the Green game last week, yanked Hoseby out during Elam. Rosenberg shaking his head. He knows what I'm talking about. How is Purple going to manage all of these, let's call them attitudes? How are you guys going to manage all those attitudes? How are you guys going to spread those minutes around?
Watch this. I defer to my captain.
We're just about that W, man. We're going to go get that win. See, when we go out there this week, if I'm sitting, if Mortgage Mike is rolling, we're going to let him roll. That's just how we're going to do it. If Matt's doing good, if I'm doing good, it's going to be a complete team effort. But at the end of the day, we're just going for the win. and it's going to be my final say, but we're all going to be on the same page at the end of the day because we're all going for that W.
Who is going to be guarding Perry and who's going to be guarding Rosenberg? How do you divvy these up between your guys?
Let me get my pencil out.
You know I'm getting one of them. At the end of the day, I'm going to have one of them. The other one, I'm not sure yet, so we'll see. But Perry's not having 40 points. I'll tell you that much. Whether I'm sticking him or someone else is sticking him, 40 ain't happening this week.
50 maybe?
Maybe 50, maybe 60, but he's not going to have 40.
Okay, so we're going to go around the horn here. We need score predictions. Rosenberg, I'm going to start with you. What is going to be the final score to this game?
I think good defensive teams. I think we'll be maybe in the lower end of it, probably 75, 78 blue ballers.
That's not even remotely close to a low score for the SDL. Perry,
Yeah,
what do you
so
got?
actually, before he said that,
Good try,
I was
Jason.
going to say 76-70 blue collar.
Okay.
I think it'll be a close game.
Okay. Sissio, what do you got?
I mean, you made Rosenberg go first, so that wasn't fair. Going off of their scores, I'll say close, a little lower, 66-60 purple. I will say blue's a great team. Obviously, we got 2 all-stars here. Purple had 3 last season and 3 are back, but close enough. 66-60. Blue has wins over green. Let's face it, green stinks, right?
Yep.
We all agree green stinks. They got red, a win on red. Esco is not himself this season. They had Sissio, who was 1 foot out the door. They got Gray. Y'all beat Gray last week, right? They were without their top player, right?
Their top player.
Sean Block was
Block
out.
is
So
good.
that win shouldn't count with Sean Block out. So I do think purple rightfully favored by a few. I'll go a little higher than right because it's my team, 66-60 purple.
Jared, final score predictions?
I mean, listen, let's see how we're going to gel, but I'm going 67-62 purple.
Okay, so Joey, we've got
Yeah.
a classic 4 to 6 point spread here.
Yep.
I am hoping that this holds up, and that is exactly what we get either direction. Obviously, being on the pod squad here, we have absolutely zero bias between teams. Just rooting for good basketball. So really interesting stuff. So I'm gonna go back to Perry for one more question. Sissio just discounted all of the blue collar baller wins. What's just gut reaction here?
I mean, we lost by 3 points to Black. We played a pretty bad game against your team. Every other win has been a good win. Hey, they're the people that we're playing. So if we beat them and then they go down in the ranks, it is what it is.
So wait, we played this game last week, and I'm going to go straight to the horse's mouth this week. I'll start with Team Purple, then I'm going to go to Blue. So Purple, you guys are new. We did the doctor scale, going from 1 being the worst and the most pain, and 10 being super happy. What are the vibes like on New Purple? And then I'm bouncing over to the Jason Squared over there. What are vibes like for the blue collar ballers this season? Starting with Purple. What number would you give you guys out of a 10? Vibe wise.
I mean, listen, we're soaring right now. Matt's
like
my
it.
dog. Matt's my guy. We got Matt back in the house right now. No
Yep.
disrespect to Armando. Armando's a great guy, but
Don't worry, he's not going to see this.
Listen, when Matt and I played together, we were both all-stars. There was no other season that Matt and I were all-stars. So the reality of it is when we play together, we're better. So we're back, baby. Let's get it.
Listen, I love playing with Red. Great team, great guys, but I'm happy to be home with Vass and Jared. And, I've played, I don't know what Manota's doing there, but I've played I do love Red. I played 2 seasons with Mortgage Mike and the Junk CC. Great teammate. I haven't played with Vlad before. We'll see how we gel with him. Talked to him this week. He's ready to go. So I think vibes are much higher on New Purple than they were previously. No discount to Armando. Great player. He probably may gel with Red better than I did, and I think I'll gel better with Purple than I did with Red. I'm just afraid Armando shows up in a purple jersey on Tuesday.
Don't forget Darren either.
Where's Purple Chat out of 10 for you, Sissio?
We have several iterations, so combined 10.
They're at the peak of the mountain. What about you guys on Blue? How are you feeling over there? What are vibes like in the chat?
Didn't Purple lose to Green?
Green's not that bad. They're okay.
I don't remember. Can you remind me?
Green's boy.
Before Green is the bottom of the barrel and the Blues always just beat them over there, subpar teams, but didn't you lose to them?
We
Right?
lost by 2, but Vasquez wasn't there. I'm sure
Yeah.
he'll have at least 4 points this week.
It was
Oh,
two
okay.
fifths, 2/5 of purple, of new purple.
Edie probably gave
Okay.
Edie
Just
probably
clear
gave
him up,
Boot Man
just
to
get
Green
in
that
there.
week, so who knows?
Jason's, what do you got? Team vibes, where are we at?
I mean, blue ballers are always our high in vibes, right? I mean, it's not even in the chat. You can see it, on our videos. It's Bobby, it's Perry. He's coming alive now, and the banter chat. We're always spreading our good vibes, either in our chat as well as out and about if we're all together and making films about Ellie or anything else.
Shout out Ellie.
Yeah.
Perry, what do you think?
Oh,
You agree?
absolutely. Yeah. 10 out of 10 vibes, maybe.
So last question, and we're gonna drop all you guys. Bobby being away this weekend, does that bode well or not well for the blue collar ballers? Because he's on some like Canadian bender or something, if I'm not mistaken.
When does he get?
Yeah, Bobby will get back to it. He'll come back Monday. He'll detox. He'll be ready for
back
Tuesday.
tomorrow?
It'll be you.
Yeah, he comes back tomorrow, I think.
Bobby will be Bobby.
All right, he'll sit the
He'll do
first
his
player.
thing, and then he'll be ready to play on Tuesday.
Totally fair. Totally
to
fair.
see it.
Guys, any parting smack talk that you want to lay it out now? Otherwise, it's just in privacy, and that's no fun for the fans.
Is this the game of the week?
Listen,
It is
let
the
me go
game of the
first
week.
here. The blue team, you guys have arguably the toughest duo in the entire league between yourself, Rosenberg, and Perry. I mean, you guys are going to be a tough game for us. But we lost 3 games in a row after winning our first 3. So we're coming to play. So at the end of the day, I hope you guys are ready too. Get Bobby off that plane safe. Make sure he's stretched out. Make him just some calisthenics before we play because we're ready to go.
We can't wait.
That would be a true.
Blue ballers
Be a
always
trio,
ready.
Jared.
Let's get it.
Let's do it, baby.
No, blue. I like if you had a rate camaraderie amongst teams. Baby Blue's new, but they'd be up there because of the guys that are on the team. But blue, what Rosenberg and Bobby have done, nothing but respect. And I think purple's right there too. So I'm glad we're all classic teams going at it on Tuesday. Looking forward. No.
He was being way too nice. I had to kick him. Sorry. That was too tough. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining again. This was the game of the week interviews with the SDL Live. So, Jason's, Jared's, thank you so much. You guys feel free to leave. Joey and I are going to keep going. Joey, take us through the next best game here. The votes were black team versus white team in a rematch of the championship. You walk us through that, walk us through the line, and let's really kick this off.
So like you just said, a rematch of season 2 championship game here. You got a few different team members. There was no trades between either of these teams this week. They both stood pat at the deadline. We got white coming in at 2-4 versus black 3-3. Black are big favorites in this one, -5.5. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure this is a 5-on-5 game. There's no big names missing. So
That's correct.
Black looking to bounce back. Listen, Black was in the game of the week last week. They went up against Fink and the Pips. They took a shot in the mouth in the 4th quarter there. They went down for the count. Couldn't Jose had a great game, but the rest of the guys didn't really, couldn't keep up with Yellow this week. White also looking to pull the season back on track. You know what I mean? They've had a couple of tough losses together. They had a bye week last week. They got the camaraderie, said they didn't want any trades. Hopefully they can get it going. They had the same problem last season. Started off slow, started to gel right before the playoffs, made a run to the finals here. Got MVP and DPOY, big J on the team, so you can't count them out. 5.5 is a lot. I think this should be a little bit closer. But, yeah, this could potentially be game of the week as well. We're here. Championship rematch going up against these guys.
Yeah, Joey, I'm gonna little curveball here. So I played this morning at Canyons. We're taping this Sunday night. I played this morning at Canyons, played with Alex. Let me just tell you something. That guy had so much fun. He had a blast this morning, was hitting shots from everywhere, making that little running floater he hasn't really made all season. I think white comes out, and I don't know if they're going to win, but this 5.5 point line is too big. I think white's going to come out. They're going to smack black in the mouth early. I think they're taking an early lead. You can never count out black. Jose is just too good. They're going to claw back. I think this is going to be a really tight game. I'm taking white and the points, not necessarily to win, but I'm definitely taking the points. This is going to be a very, very, very close game.
I'm with you there. I'm taking White on the points there. And just like you said, this one's going to be a slobber knocker. Big J versus Lon down low. Jose versus the guard dog. And can, you know what I mean? See what everyone else can do in this game. But yeah, what do you got for third game of the night?
I don't know the order at this point, but I think the third best game is going to be our game. I think it's going to be Baby Blue versus Maroon. So Maroon not necessarily involved in the trades per se. But Greg Ezra Goldstein, welcome back. Calfer put on the 4-week pup list. So what does that mean, guys? Think of that like the disabled list in baseball. You get put on the list, you're out for 4 weeks minimum. He could be healthy in 3, doesn't matter. He's missing 4 games, Calfer is. And then, hey, the spot's his when he gets back. So glad to see Ezra's back is good. Glad to see him back in the league, the pie merchant. He's going to be really interesting for them. I have some lines here. So pre-trade, and this is without Goldstein or Calfer. If assuming it was just their core 4 versus us, Baby Blue would have been favored by 6.5 points. I don't hate that. It's a big number, but them with down their B player with no subs, it's just not. You're not expected to win that game or be close to that game. But now with Ezra in there, it's us by 2.5. That's a really tight spread, right? Us by 2.5 is good. And then I got word that we may have to push back our game. They're trying to figure it out. I don't know if that's happening, but if it doesn't happen and we stick with our 6 o'clock, Dansky's not playing. With Dansky not playing, Ezra back for the first time, who knows what his leg's going to be like. It's us by 8.5. So a really interesting line. So basically, we're favored by anywhere between 3 to 8 points. Joey, what do you think of Maroon? What do you think of the trade? And what side are you taking on this one?
So all the lines make sense to me just because of all the movement going on there. Hopefully Calfer, like I said, out for at least a month now. Hopefully that ankle gets back. I think Ford is back this week. He was out for a couple weeks with injury too. But coming into this, aside from all that, Maroon has been rolling. You know what I mean? They had a super sub a few weeks ago with Benak, and they got a couple wins stringing together. They got Teen Wolf howling all over the gym and everything like that. But they also meet us, who are rolling as well. We met in preseason finale. That was the night of the slippery gym there. They got the best of us, but Maroon has a good team. They spread the floor quickly. Pepper does triple doubles every week. It's going to be a good matchup, I believe, up and down the board. Hopefully, Dansky's able to come, so it's able to play this week. Excuse me. So it's a 5-on-5 game. Guys get a breather and everything like that. But this is going to be a tough game. 4-2 versus 3-3. Both of us right there in the standings. Neither of us could really lose. Even though we're technically first in the standings right now, we're tied with 3 other teams at 4-2. So one loss will tumble us all the way down. Same thing with Maroon. Obviously, right now the standings are really tight, but this should be a great game this week coming out. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, same here. Game 4. What do you think? You want to take us through gray, green, or red, yellow?
Actually, I'm going to talk about red, yellow because that one intrigues me, right? So we talked about it before. So we alluded to this early in the pre-games and everything. Red is getting a new player here. Armando was traded for Sissio. So you got Armando coming over to red. The thought behind with the SDL 8 that was presented was red needs to get a little more athletic. Playing against Baby Blue last week, they kind of play a little slow-footed. Armando definitely bring some youth, some explosiveness to their team. You got yellow. Finkenstein, obviously. You got, Sean O'Mac out there, Ian, Arif, and Lebo out there trying to knock down the shots from the perimeter. Right now, Red's 1-5, yellow 4-2. They are number 1 in the Founders Conference. This is a 5.5 point spread here. Now, before the trade, if this was a Sissio still on Red, no Armando, this would have been 8.5 with Red's old squad. So obviously some respect. They think new look Red is better than old look Red and think they might gel together. 5.5. But I'm interested in this one because, like we said, Escobedo has not played like an A player this season at all. That's the reason why, Red is 1-5 right now. They can't really seem to get it going. Does he bounce back? They can't fall to 1-6. Like you said, Animal back against the wall in the corner. Do they come out fighting or do they, lay down? But you got to come out fighting here. Who are they going to match up against Fink? What's going to happen? What do you think in this matchup, Matt? This one is crazy. I'm interested in this game.
Yeah, I like the line in the sense that it moved a little bit better in favor of Armando. That just gives them a little bit more perimeter D, right? But golly, 5.5. I mean, give me yellow all the way. They just don't have anybody like Armando's super athletic, like just can jump out of the gym. But so's Fink. and Fink's just taller than him and longer than him. So this might be the 40-40 week. I'm throwing that out there. This genuinely may end up being the 40-40 week.
Do you think they put Armando on Fink or Escobedo? I assume they got to do Escobedo just for height wise. You know what I mean? Like
I think so. Esco plays in the post. He fronts guys. If you front Fink, they're just going to lob the ball over your head, and he's going to catch it and just dunk it. I mean, like it's not even a thought. They may go Armando, Esco, double team, just constant.
Somebody else, yeah.
Yep. Throw Rosie on Ian, obviously. And then just be like, you know what? Arif, Lebo, Medeiros, one of you guys just, go and win the game for them. That might be the play.
Because, I mean, this week when we played Red, I mean, we had a very good first quarter for Baby Blue, so that kind of knocked the wind out of their sails immediately. I'm expecting a scrappy Red team this week. You know what I mean? This is kind of pushing all your chips to the table almost. You got a few weeks here now to get it together, try to stay out of the toilet bowl because, besides, we said the conferences are 15-15, but realistically with Red being 1-5, that brought the Creators Conference record down a bit. You know what I mean? So they're pretty far behind in the conference. They need to start stacking these wins together.
Yeah, for sure. So wait, what are you taking? Yellow in the point, yellow in the spread, or
unfortunately?
Or
as of right now, I'm expecting a great game from Red. I could see them potentially covering this spread and maybe even eking out a win, but they got to prove it to me first. So I'm taking yellow in the points right now. They're rolling right now. Someone's got to stop Fink and Red. Prove it to me before I can give you guys the slack. So
totally fair.
Yep.
All right, last game of the night: gray versus green. So the last change was. We talked about Furman coming over to purple. Well, that means D'Lo went to green.
Yep.
We talked about it in the interview, green fighting over some minutes. D'Lo, not a big minutes guy. Very off-ball player. I mean, he goes games not scoring at all, not even shooting sometimes, which I think is kind of what green needs when you've got Baumer, when you've got Zaka, when you got Hose B, all ball dominant guys.
That's all.
Assassin again. Assassin's not ball dominant, but he shoots.
No, but he shoots.
Very good
He'll
shooter.
Get him off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really interesting. No line change here.
Right.
So it's gray -3.5 versus green. That was the line before the swap for D'Lo and Furman. That's the line after the swap for D'Lo and Furman. I think from a pure basketball skill standpoint, people would say Furman's the more talented guy. D'Lo probably fits that team a little bit better. So you kind of go give it one of these and you kind of stay in that same realm. So gray -3.5. Gray hasn't been playing well. Dennis didn't shoot the ball great last week. I think he's now 20-something points away from the 1,000-point scoring. No shot. He doesn't get it this week. I know I totally jinxed him last week. Not going to happen this week. It's gray -3.5. Give me gray. Stick with the favorite on this one. Give me gray. I think Dennis is a great game. Probably somewhere close to 30. I think they struggle a little bit with Gary, even though D'Lo should be able to do some work against Gary. I think they struggle with Gary, and I think Sean Block has a big game. This week. Again, probably will have Hose B on him if I had to guess. So I like gray in the points. But Joey, what do you think on the spread and just the overall choice?
Yep. So with the spread this week, I like the game. It's going to be a tightly contested game. Gray, like you said, came off a loss, and even the game before that, they didn't play great. That the week before that, when they had the slobber knocker against Red, they had one of the lowest scoring games in SDL history. So I expect Gray to pick up the scoring a little bit. They got a lot of talent over there: Ravitz, Dennis, Silver, Block, the camper down low. But I like the move for Green. I want to see more shots for Hose B in their offense. You know what I mean? Because he's got the talent there. When you got Saka, he's going to get his shots. Bomber's going to get his shots. Assassin's going to get his shots. I'd like to see a little more work inside out with Hose B because he's got good post moves down low, and that opens up more shots for Green. But I'm going to take Gray on the spread this week. That's a tight spread. Like we said, anything usually under the 9-point Elam is a tight game. This is only 3.5. But I think Gray covers this week. Potentially, even more than that. I could have seen this being a 4.5-point spread, something like that. I like Gray this week, but I could see a feisty Green team pulling it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Saka's a problem, right?
Yes.
Saka's a problem on the board. Saka's a problem everywhere. So, yeah, I still like Gray.
Gray's very. They haven't really. They haven't lost a game with all 5 there. I don't believe they've always had someone missing in their losses. I'm pretty sure.
Sean Block.
And so Someone's always lost him. Right,
he's missed 2 games and they lost them both, which is interesting.
Really. So I mean, obviously we love you, Sean. He's a big piece to Gray because he plays. He takes away usually one of the better offenders. I mean, he plays good defense on one of the better guys on the team, so Dennis doesn't have to do that. So it relieves up his legs to hit his shots. So I mean, like every piece has its puzzle piece. Yeah, every piece fits in the puzzle. You know what I mean? So with him back this week, I'm looking forward to that game.
I totally get it. Well, Joey, we're out of games.
That's it.
So anything else you want to say?
Just remember, guys, this week. So like we said, we're back to 5 games this week. Game's got to be moving quickly. You know what I mean? If you're waiting for your game, get off the court. Let's keep it moving. We don't want to be in the gym all night. Just remember, keep it moving, get off the court, keep it spread out, and let's have some fun this Tuesday night, man.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, parking spots are going to be very limited, and we've had complaints. So please, if you don't mind walking, I do this now on a weekly basis, park at the overflow visitors lot. As soon as you go in through the gate, make your first left before you even get to that stop line. There's a, I don't know, 8 to 10 spot parking lot over there. Park, walk, it's 3-4 minutes at most. If you have the time, please park over there. It just makes it easier, especially multi-game guys. If you're there for 3 or 4 games throughout the night because you do announcing and some other stuff, please swing a vehicle over there. It does truly, truly help us.
Yep, and that's it. But yeah, once again, SDL, we'll shout out to our sponsors real quick. Tiger Air, nobody blows better. Get yours today at tigerair.com. And if you are looking for any dental work down in West Boca Raton, visit Stellar Smiles. Make sure you let them know that Suburban Dadsley sent you for a discount. And as always, Sports Visio, one of the greatest statisticians out there. We use you guys for everything, highlights, stats. They even have, game winners and everything like that. Shout out Sean over there at Sports Visio. But for the crew over here, for Edie, for my co-host Matt, once again, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. We will be live Tuesday night at 6 on TikTok and YouTube. For the crew out here, see you guys Tuesday.